The Pacific Northwest loves their Seattle Mist, and tonight, a playoff picture-driven showdown between the number 7 ranked Seattle Mist and number 3 ranked Tasha, the Tank Pryor-led Chicago Bliss. Can Seattle get their first win of the year, or will Chicago continue to ride the tank toward an undefeated season? Find out right now on LFL Friday Night Football.
Let's go. This is the place and the time to decide in your mind if you got what it takes for the shine. Yo, don't be wasting the time. Yo, get erased from the line. Yo, lights and the cameras are flashing, fans on their feet and it's time for some action. Thunder and lightning, they fighting and clashing. High speed chase, race and keep smashing. L, this is Friday Night Football.
Welcome to a sold-out Showwear Center here in Seattle, Washington. Miss Nation trying to be the 8th man on the field tonight. Let's take a look at our keys to the game. Sean Salisbury, 3 undefeated teams at the top.
Seattle Mist do not want to go down 0-2 and chase in this division. Plus, you want to impress that great sold-out crowd.
And our keys to the game. How about Seattle trying to take a quarterback by committee approach tonight?
Well, Tom, you remember in the first game we covered him, Natasha Lindsay was banged up and beat up, showed a lot of toughness, but not great arm strength, not great accuracy, which is exactly why you're going to see this gal. Laurel Creel, the rookie quarterback who has a cannon for an arm and great feet. You'll get a heavy dose of her tonight, as will Chicago.
And then we've got the Tank and the new generation Tank.
Yeah, Tasha the Tank Pryor. We know she's the most physical running back in this entire league, and she will touch the ball and come at you from all different angles. Seattle must tackle well and gang tackle her. And on the other side, I guess we call her the mini tank or their junior tank, Cam Warner. In her first game, she was also very, very physical. She must carry the ball a lot and get the ball in her hands to have a chance.
And your favorite LFL 2.0 highlights new faces in the LFL making an impact.
Well, tonight we're going to feature one of the sisters, linebacker Danica Brace. She's going to have to greet Tasha Pryor right in the hole on a number of times, and she can knock you right on your ass.
Truly a marquee matchup of 2 of the LFL's best. Kickoffs coming up next.
This is Friday Night
Sold-out Showwear Center here in Seattle. Supposedly some members of the Seahawks with Sean Salisbury. I'm Tom Dorr. Jamie Ferguson with the kick. Takes a hop and that'll bounce into the stand. So Chicago will get it about the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 right there.
Not the way you want to start unless you're afraid of Chicago's return game. The electricity in the air here and in the crowd is off the chain here tonight. This is the best atmosphere in all the LFL.
Sean, Heather Furr is lined up at quarterback. Stacey Jarrett was their quarterback in game 1. Now Furr is their quarterback. She's trying to bark out the signals. I don't think they can hear her. And now we got some motion by Chicago.
Can't hear her. That's why we said the electricity in the air. This is sold out.
On the defense, it's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Illegal movement going to make it 1st and 15. Now that's the way you want to start out a game with your home crowd. And Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Seahawks may learn from this too, the way to play. But the Seahawks fans, known as the 12th man, obviously the 8th man here, Miss Nation picking it up, already putting them in a bind at 1st and 15. We'll get to the Heather First situation here in a minute, what she's doing at quarterback.
You can see her screaming out the signals. Now fades back. Pump fakes, pumps again. Now she's got some room. She's going to run it. Gets it out across the 15 to about the 16. Danica Brace with a hard tackle, and Brace right there talking to her as she gets up. Seattle is here to play.
Brace is going to have to be tackling all over the place, unassisted, getting help from her friends. But there you see. Now Heather Furr is a wide receiver on offense and a safety on defense, and her main focus is defense. A very good safety and a ball hawk. They got her in here at quarterback. Stacey Jarrett, the original starter, Tommy, had a really good first game, too.
Yeah, she did. Played very well. Here's Tasha the Tank Pryor. Look at her just bowl people over. Gets a gain of about 7 yards on the play. The Tank is rolling.
There you see. Her first half stats earlier in game 1, Tommy, 57 yards and 9 carries. When you're averaging 6 yards a pop on 2nd and 10, you can give it to her and feel good. Now remember, there's a rule now. If you're on 4 downs, you got to throw it at least twice. So they've put themselves in a position where Heather Furr, who is a normal safety, and get the start over Jarrett.
3rd and 6. We got a shovel pass straight ahead. Deborah Poles with it, and Poles rumbles forward, and I believe she's got enough for a first down. Yep, she does. First down for Chicago.
And Deborah Poles is one of our great linebackers in this league, but also you see her catching the shovel pass. Now that counts as a completion, folks. That's a pass. Throw it behind the line of scrimmage. Just if that ball would have been knocked down, it's a simple incompletion, not a fumble. Counts as a pass for Chicago. Nice job on this first drive by Heather Furr, who is not your normal quarterback, and there is nothing wrong, we hear, from Stacey Jarrett. She just didn't get the start.
Danica Brace, the linebacker. Now here's a quarterback keeper. Pitches back and a hard hit right at the line of scrimmage. Christina Fetzer with a shot almost in the backfield.
Let's not forget Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Those pink bow ties on the backs of the players' helmets, and as well as their pink gloves, are all in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. What a great cause, and I love the fact, Tommy, that they're bringing awareness to this, and it's all over the place, and it's right here in the LFL.
Right, that's where it should be. Keep the awareness alive. Brace talking to her teammates, the middle linebacker. Furr fades back, pump fakes once, looks over the middle, throws, and it's almost intercepted. Goes as an incomplete pass. Danica Brace was right there, had it in her hands, but it's incomplete.
She is quickly becoming one of the more dominant linebackers in this league. You're talking about LA's Gaxiola, who is a great player, Chicago's Poles you'll see tonight, and also Lutzko in San Diego. You're talking about three dominating, knock you in the mouth linebackers, and watch her all night long. Danica Brace will be around the football, and we've called out her name a number of times already on this 3rd and 9.
Wildcat formation now as the Tank is back at quarterback. Takes it, flips it ahead. That's Deborah Poles who's got it. And Poles is rolling forward. She's got about 10 yards on that play. Hopkins with the stop, Jessica Hopkins. But how about the Tank with a pass?
We're changing things up here. We've already seen Heather Furr, who's a safety, playing quarterback. We're not seeing their normal quarterback, Stacey Jarrett. And then the Wildcat offense. And not only did they put the Wildcat in, which we normally saw in game 1, it was always a run. They come right out and throw that easy pass, which is nothing more than an extension of the run.
First and goal at the 7. Give goes right off the right side. And she'll get 2 or 3 yards. That's Sarah Swanson with the run. One off the right side, and they'll bring up now 2nd and goal. Fetzer with the tackle.
This is the big secret that Chicago's staff kept from us. Heather Furr at quarterback. When we talked on Thursday night, I think there was one little thing we didn't get, and Heather Furr was so focused, and she made such an emphasis saying about defense.
Did, yeah.
I think she probably obviously knew that she was going to be playing quarterback.
Furr, hands off, second back through. That's Jarrett coming around the right side. Oh, she got right to the goal line and then got hammered. Hopkins with the stop, and that's a big one.
And a nice job by Christina Fetzer. Also a little misdirection to Stacey Jarrett, who's the normal starting quarterback. But look at this now. Coming up there and making big hits right there with Danica Bruce close by. Oh, my goodness. What a job by Fetzer to come in there. And that's called fundamentally sound tackling and making sure, a lot of people would have given up on the play, Tommy. I think you're in a position now, we've seen 2 runs, got to throw the football, and you don't want to put yourself in this position play calling, but with the big gal in the backfield and physical, you can do that.
Fades back, throws right over the middle, Deborah Poles, caught, touchdown!
Oh my goodness. Great job, a little shovel pass by Heather Furr, so she hasn't had to throw it down the field.
And here's
the Boo Birds are already out.
Here's Chicago's midfield celebration. How about this?
That takes the new celebration to a baby got back, Tom. Woo. Little fake dropping trow out there and letting everybody see the booty. I'm telling you right now, the Seattle fans are going to have a red ass, no pun intended for that one, after giving up that opening drive touchdown by Chicago. Now they'll go for the
Going for 2.
Yep.
Going for 2. Furr fades back, looks. She's got Deborah Poles wide open. Same play. Exactly the same play they just ran. Now it's good for the 2-point conversion.
Great job. When we put it on the 5-yard line, it's for 2. We don't kick extra points in the LFL. But that's a veteran quarterback move by Heather Furr getting her first start. Look to her left. Had everybody shift and follow the quarterback's eyes, which defensive players are taught to do. Comes right back, boom, hits Poles for the 2-pointer and an 8-point lead. Tommy, I love the celebration.
Oh,
love
I
the
do
celebration.
Too.
Get your teammates involved. Too bad we can't see it again. Can we get an instant replay of that one? But the Seattle fans, who are without question, Chicago's pretty close. The most, into-it fans in this league.
Are, yeah.
Sold out here. They love their football. And boy, that's I guess you could say, in-your-face celebration at midfield by Chicago. And a great way to start getting everybody involved with their new quarterback.
Laurel Creel will start at quarterback. We thought it might be Natasha Lindsay. Her pass over the right side is caught. Picked up by Hopkins. Then she fumbles it down to about the 3-yard line, and I think she got it back. Big pass. Jessica Hopkins with the catch. and she lost it, picks it back up, 1st and goal.
Tommy, you cannot. Nice throw by Creel coming out. We didn't expect her to start. We expected her to play. Could have been a late hit also. Hitting Jess Hopkins down the field. I love the fact that Seattle comes out and attacks, but do not allow unforced errors like this. Finish the play. Now get on it. Make sure you got control of the football. What a great way to respond. Great way to respond by Seattle, Tommy, after giving up the score.
And we've got a timeout on the field. 8-0 Chicago. Seattle trying to answer when we come back.
This is Friday night
How about this, Sean? Trying to quiet this sold-out
Her own crowd, Tommy.
Yep.
Her own crowd.
1st and goal at the 1. Creel barks out the signals. Now she lost it. It's loose. Deborah pulls it. Chicago's got it. Pulls across the 10. Breaks one tackle. She's out in midfield. She's into Seattle territory. Huge 1st down turnover by the Chicago.
In every guy, just finished saying unforced errors, Tommy. Quarterback center exchange, you can't do that. Deborah Pohl's one of the better players on defense in this league, a dominating linebacker. You can't Seattle get down there on a huge opening play, lay the ball on the ground when no need when it's a quarterback center exchange you've been working on for 4 months, Tommy. For 4 months. You can't do that. The games that we've covered all this year, the teams that have lost, have killed themselves in the red zone and have turned the ball over in the red zone. And now Chicago with Heather Furr making her first start at quarterback, Tommy.
Furr barks out the signal, passes ahead, that's caught by Swanson. She rolls ahead, down across the 10 to about the 9-yard line. And Chicago very innovative offensively so far, Sean.
Yeah, Tommy, and look at the change again. We talked about the change of being able to change field position. You're inside the 3-yard line, you lay it on the ground, the return, boom, come down. And Chicago with the versatility of their football team, and they come out on 1st down and throw, Tommy. They throw on 1st down with that little shovel pass, which is high percentage and no risk.
Now you think we'll see the tank?
Shocker.
Here's the handoff. Here is the tank. There she goes. Inside the 5, still going down to about the 3-yard line. Danica Brace, among others, with the stop. But Tasha, the tank Pryor, one player in this league. Sean, I don't think one player can take her down.
You can't. And if you try, you're going to get yourself hurt. And they also got the other weapon with Deborah Poles. If you get tired of giving it to Pryor, give it to Deborah Poles, who's proven that she may be the best, as good a two-way player as we have in this league. Linebacker dominant and running the football. Unreal.
Furr, the quarterback, runs straight ahead. She's down near the goal line, gets into a collision, and waiting for the sign. Touchdown! Touchdown, Chicago!
Field position will kill you every time. Great job, Heather Furr, just leading them along the way. Make it simple. You don't give it to Pryor. What do? You give it to herself, and we call that BYOB. Bring your own blocker, and that's exactly what Heather Furr did to get into the end zone. Great job by the coaching staff of Chicago to make this decision, because you're getting great leadership from Heather Furr, even after we saw Stacey Jarrett in the opening game now, who's playing a different position.
Going for 2 again. Pryor in the Wildcat. Now she's going to keep it, going right up the middle, and she is down near the goal line. I don't think she got in. Amanda Brace, among others, on the stop. Let's listen.
No.
Danica Brace saying nope, and you got to agree.
Yep, Amanda Brace making the nice hit, with Danica Brace being mic'd and wired up and getting it in there. You gotta have Laurel Creel come out and made a great throw. She's more steady, but you can't turn the ball over in the red zone.
Creel gives to Warner, comes around the right side, and she's got no room. Danielle Moynet, among others, she may have gotten a yard or so on that one, but Chicago read that very well.
Yes, and this is something that Seattle has to do. I love the way when they gave up the first score, they come right out with Laurel Creel, who is steady throwing the ball down the field with a cannon for an arm. Now, don't back off now.
Right.
Make sure you challenge and continue to challenge. And Natasha Lindsay, who's on the bench, who was banged up in the first game, a little bit more mobile, but you need to be able to throw it. Now, I'm going to tell you what, Cam Warner's got to have a big game on this side of the ball running it for Seattle.
Creel fades back. Looking, now she's gonna run it. She's got a block, and she got a big block. She's across the 20 into Chicago territory, down near the 15. Danielle Moynet on the stop, but a big run. Give her about 18 on that run, Sean.
Not exactly her strength. She's a passer who gets people involved. That would be more Natasha Lindsay, but hey, good job by Laurel Creel, and all that does, Tommy, is create problems in the head of the defense saying, wait a minute now, We got Laurel Creel who can run it. She was a passing threat. Nice job by her to make something out of nothing. And in this game, keep an eye on Deborah Pohl's linebacker getting depth while those safeties creep up to take away the slot receivers on that seam route that they're so good at here in Seattle.
Creel asking for quiet again. Fades back, looks, steps up, throws it. It's almost intercepted. That was almost picked off. Yeshi Reich was right there, knocks it down, incomplete. And Chicago defensively trying to hold here, leading 14-0. Just under 7 minutes left in the first half, and we'll have a timeout. Take a break. Seattle driving when we come back.
Tommy, it's interesting as you take a look with the receivers Jamie Ferguson and Jess Hopkins, a really good possession receiver. Seattle's got a really, really explosive offense, but must capitalize down here in the red zone, especially in long yardage situations like this.
2nd and 10, Seattle, as Creel gets the motion going to the far side. Hands off. This one goes to Hopkins. She'll come along the left side, and she got stood up at about the 14-yard line, and then the Chicago teammates came in to help. Nice job. Good help. Deborah Pohl's there initially, and then she got a lot of help.
Great job by Chicago swarming to the football. I mean, all I hear is Deborah Pohl's, Deborah Pohl's, yeah. Deborah Pohl's. Nice to have when the rest of the people know that she's going to get there first, and you come and mop up everything that's there. This Chicago defense, Tommy, since we've been watching them, always swarms.
Creel fakes the handoff, now rolls out to the right side, down an opening, and it's picked off. Shannon Renee with it, and Renee gets out to about the 10-yard line. The second big turnover by Seattle now.
Every week we stress red zone. Nice job of clearing the pocket, moving the pocket by Seattle, but you can't throw it to now. Go tackle somebody, 20. Go make a play. Don't pout Amanda Brace. I understand it was an interception, but you got to go help out. But as Laurel Creel, you can't stare down your receiver and then throw it to where you're staring it down. These girls are too athletic and too good, Tommy. And Chicago's defense will ball hawk. There you see Shannon Renee. Nice job of reading the quarterback's eyes. You know what? If you know where you're going to go with the football, just peek her a little bit. Just peek her a little bit and watch how quickly they drive the other way. But another red zone turnover. That's 2 on 2 drives by Seattle.
Handoff goes to Tasha Pryor. She'll come along the left side, goes over the 15 out to about the 18-yard line. Lisa pushing her there with the stop. And how about a gain of about 7 or 8 on that play? Every time you give her the ball, she's going to get 6, 7, 8 yards.
Well, she's averaging almost 7 yards a carry, Tommy, and last year I think it was even more than that by Tank Pryor. And we talked to her on Thursday, and she said, her body's beat up throughout the week, but it almost clicks in when it's game day. She says, you know what? This is what I do. And then it takes a week or 2 or 3 or 4 to recover.
And now we've got whistles sounding.
But I assure you the defense feels worse than Tank Pryor
I don't
does.
think there's any question about it.
Seattle.
And we got a timeout, Seattle. 5:20 left in the first half. We'll be right back.
This is Friday Night Football.
2nd down, 10 yards to go. Motion goes to the far side. Fake a give to Pryor. It's a quarterback keeper, and Heather Furr gets into Seattle territory across the 25, out to about the 23-yard line. Fetzer on the stop.
I think this is exactly why you see Chicago make this change at quarterback to start this game. Heather Furr, really good with running the option. She hits you on defense and has made some throws on offense.
Motion again. Little pitch play. That's a forward pass. That's Sarah Swanson with it. Swanson's going to fight forward for about 8 yards or so. Fetzer again in on the stop, and Chicago just marching down the field.
Smart job by Chicago. We talked to the coaching staff. They wanted to run more shovel pass because really, Tommy, when it's a 3-yard pass and there's no risk in it, and you got to get 2 throws in every 4 downs, why wouldn't you throw it like that? Especially if you don't trust how Heather Furr is going to be throwing it down the field. She's operating this thing to perfection.
Just under 4.5 left. Here's a handoff. Pryor with all kinds of room. She runs into 3 tacklers. Look at her go inside the 5, down to about the 2-yard line. Give her about 12 yards, and let's listen in.
That's
a lot of hard hitting there, Sean.
Note to Seattle's defense. Hit her down low. Okay, or you're going to get yourself hurt. Boy, is Heather Furr running this offense to perfection, getting everybody involved. Great move by the coaching staff in the Wildcat now with Pryor.
And Pryor hands off and goes back. Now Furr with it, rolls around to the right side, and she's going to be sacked.
I love the call, though. Great job by Seattle not getting the okey-doke where they're like, what was this? Little fake, okey doke, fake reverse, fake the option, pitch and throw. But maybe they got a little too cute on that, Tommy. Seattle, nice job. There she is, Danica Brace again with Gaxiola. And you're talking about the great linebacker, Lutzko out in San Diego, Poles in Chicago. This is one of the fine defensive players we have in this league, and she's showing it by dominating on her side of the ball right now.
2nd and 6. Give goes to the right side. She's down near the 1-yard line.
Guess who's in on the tackle?
Stacey Jarrett on the carry. Who's that?
Well, you know what? Another Brace. Yeah. Amanda Brace now in on that one, coming from her position. Amanda Brace, Danica Brace, sisters, both make an impact on both sides of the ball. They'll knock you out on one side. They both come to play every single time. And Brace, obviously, at the wideout position on offense, that's her. Not Danica, but Amanda, but they're playing great defense.
They've got to throw it here. 3rd and goal. Little pitch play forward. Touchdown goes to Deborah Poles. Poles do it on both sides, offense and defense. In Chicago, as you said, very, very smart with their play calling.
Well, I got news for you. When the stats come out at half, it's going to say Heather Furr, everything's complete, and she hasn't thrown a pass over a half a yard or 3 yards, Tommy. I mean, they're right in there, but they count as forward passes. It's a shovel pass. Every single time they've done it, they've gained yardage, and it counts as a pass. Chicago's coaching staff was really wise in this, with their approach to this, and she's not even the normal starting quarterback.
Yep, normally Stacey Jarrett going for 1 this time. For a little pitch play forward and fighting in. The extra point is good.
Come on, Seattle now. Come on. Best crowd in the league. Show your team something. Get your offense back out there and quit killing the defense with those field position problems.
This is Friday Night Football.
Well, now Seattle, Sean, has got to answer. They've got to figure something out. They've got it at their own 15, 1st and 10. Pass goes over the middle, and a tough catch. Did she haul that in? Yeah. Heck of a catch. Amanda Brace with that.
Well,
wow.
We've talked about her name on defense and her sister Danica. She comes out and makes a play on offense. You know, Laurel Creel. Now we got Natasha Lindsay in at quarterback, who's replacing Laurel Creel. Get a little momentum. The Boo Birds have come out in Seattle as they're booing their own team. 9-9.
Natasha Lindsay is in. Lindsay fades back. Looking, throws it again, and again it's caught out in Chicago territory at about the 20. Jessica Hopkins with the catch.
Nice job by Jess Hopkins, who is becoming one of the better Wes Welker type possession receivers in this league. She really is. Now you got to get Jamie Ferguson involved, who had 3 touchdown catches in the opener. Lindsay obviously coming and throwing right off the bat, trying to get him down in this 2-minute drive.
1st and 10. She'll fade back, looks to throw again. Completes that to Warner, and Warner without much room. What a tackle! Oh my, Deborah Poles with a terrific open field stop.
There's a common theme with Deborah Poles and Danica Brace on both sides of the ball, linebacker. They know how to play.
Yeah.
Those are football players. I mean, they understand, not just athletes, but football players. Now, Natasha Lindsay's come off the bench for Laurel Creel, who's turned it over 2 times in the red zone. After the injury in the opening game where Lindsay came out, what was she, 7 for 7 in that game, and now overall now she's 10 for 10. So she hasn't missed a throw this year. She understands how to put it on somebody, and she's taken over now and got them driving here late in the first half.
Under a minute left, 2nd and 9. Lindsay will fade back, got some pressure, throws into the end zone, and may have thrown that one away. Either a bad throw or she threw it away, and now it's 3rd and 9.
Either way, never in the history of football has a ball ever been complete out of bounds, Tommy. So, but you know what? Smart play, instead of turn it over, throw it away and give yourself a team, be able to tee it up on 3rd down so you don't turn it over like they've done twice in the red zone. Killing them down here.
Fade back. Lindsay looking, throws, and it's caught. Big catch. Jessica Hopkins with it. She's down near the 1-yard line.
Well, from Boo Birds in Seattle and a sold-out crowd to now cheering on Natasha Lindsay as she's come off the bench. Both of these quarterbacks can throw. There was talk that maybe Lindsay wasn't accurate, didn't have a strong enough arm. Wrong. She's obviously dispelling those rumors and that talk. She's only missed 1, and that was a throw out of bounds. I like what she's doing. Now why they're huddling, I don't know. Get to the line of scrimmage and play.
Well, you got to stop the clock. 20 seconds left. Give goes to Amanda Brace. She's going nowhere. They've already used their timeout. They can't stop the clock.
Got to kill it.
Got to spike the ball.
Come on now, Seattle. You guys got to know better clock management, coaches. Put them in a better position.
4 seconds, 3 seconds. She'll take it, and she does spike it with 2 seconds left.
That is, you know what that is, Tommy? It's inexcusable to not be prepared for this. You've had months to prepare for this. When you don't have a timeout, come up, spike the ball. You got a first down. It's not the downs you're worried about. It's now the clock. Now you got one play to put it in the end zone. What do? Do you run it? Do you throw it? In my opinion, you keep the ball on the ground. And Cam Warner, who was physical in the first game, we've only called her name twice. She has no impact in the first half. Maybe you give her the football and let her run it in, or a quarterback draw if you're going to get in the gun, but they're not. They're staying under center, which is a wise move.
Lindsay with the I formation gives to the second back through Hopkins, and she is in for the touchdown. Wow, what a close call. The official said she was in. The Chicago coach is complaining. That's a tough call.
Oh, man, great tackle at the goal line. And I'm going to tell you, Hopkins, don't go in there. You can't pussyfoot around, Tommy. You got to get in there, and you got to jump in there and try to score. You got to put the shoulder down, lean shoulders over your waist, and attack the goal line. But they're going to give him the touchdown now. And Tommy, I'm not so sure as we see on this replay here. Keep an eye now. The body crossed the goal line, but did the ball break the plane? There you see, bad handoff and exchange. Almost turned it over again by the quarterback. Ooh, from this angle, I don't know. Did the point of the ball get over, Tommy?
Might have. When she swung it out with that right hand, it might have. We couldn't tell.
Bottom line, it doesn't matter. They got the points.
Now going for 2 and flags down.
Delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Delay of game. Ouch.
It's okay, though. You know what? It's okay. You can't do that. It's clock management killed them. They're fortunate to come away with points because that last drive, Natasha Lindsay did a good job of trying to get him around and do it. They got to get better on the exchange, but it's okay, Tommy. You've created a little bit more space for yourself to throw it. And Lindsay, the way she was throwing it in that drive, she could throw it from 10 yards, no problem.
And flags down again. I think we got a false start.
I'd boo too if I was Seattle's team. After a great drive, you've beaten yourself up, turning it over twice.
False start on the offense, number 20. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay the try.
You should never at home have a false start.
Amanda
it's your
Brace
crowd.
For it, yeah.
When in doubt, watch the football. Now you're at 15. Now you're getting to a point where they can pressure you, they can blitz you. Turnovers twice in the red zone, Tommy. Now on an extra point, back-to-back penalties, bad clock management. It's no wonder Chicago's kicking that ass right now.
Basically trips to the right side. Lindsay's going to fade back. She's got a little bit of pressure. Rice right there in her face. Here's the throw, and it's intercepted again. This time it's Shannon who's got it. Comes out across the 10 to about the 12-yard line. Shannon Renee with the interception, and that is the end of the half.
I'm okay, Tommy, with taking this shot. It's on the extra point. Better than taking a sack. At least you give your team a chance. Throw it up there. Shannon Renee squats on it, makes the interception. Trying to make something happen. The big problem, clock management and stupid penalties put the ball back to the 15. And if Seattle in front of their home crowd wants to have a chance, Chicago doesn't beat themselves, folks. But Seattle's doing just that with trips to the red zone. They looked ugly. They're fortunate away to come with the touchdown. Fortunate enough in that drive.
21-6, Chicago with the halftime lead. We'll take a break. Highlights and stats coming up next from the sold-out ShoWare Center in Seattle.
This is Friday Night Football.
This team is not better. They give it to one girl and they run it. That's all they can do. I told you if you stop her, they will throw and we will pick. And do not quit. If I see one lady with her head down out there, I'm going to pull you out myself. 20 pitches,
No question about it. And here's how the halftime highlights went first half. Nice job by Heather for her first start, using her eyes to locate Deborah Poles for the score. Seattle tries to answer the deep corner route to Hopkins, lays it on the ground, but was able to recover her own fumble. But then Seattle goes in with another unforced error and turns it over. Then you give the ball right back to Heather for a nice job in the Wildcat, even though she's the quarterback running it in. And then a little handoff around the corner. Nice job, was able to get it down close and squeeze in. And then again, a little shovel pass. There's Fur to Poles. Fur's doing a great job. And then at the end of the half, there you see, nice job of finally getting on the scoreboard. Although it was close, Hopkins gets in, Tommy, and there's the stats. Total yards are pretty close. Turnovers and red zone problems are the biggest issue for Seattle.
This is Friday Night Football.
Tommy, tell everybody who that is, the face of the league, just so they know we see it every week.
Danielle Moynier.
Thank you very much.
Safety for Chicago.
Woo. She's not just a pretty face, so 3 unassisted tackles in the first half.
Deborah Poles with a great kick. Goes back near that back line, and Seattle says, we're not bringing this out.
Seattle's got to get something going right now. We've seen Creel throw the ball well early on, and then a couple turnovers by her in the red zone. We've seen Natasha Lindsay, who was the starter in the first game, came out in the second game, bingo, bango, bongo down the field, get him right in the end zone. Who do you start with the second half? I think Natasha Lindsay's going to come out.
Yeah.
And the way she drove him down, I get it. Remember now, in the first game, she was banged up. She's 4 or 5 in this one, and in the first game, I believe Tommy 9 and 9 in the first game, so she knows how to throw.
She'll fade back, 3-step drop, and that one is knocked down and almost intercepted. Yashi Rice got a piece of that and almost picked that baby off.
Tommy, if it was me now see you're 21-6. You're not in a panic mode right now. 2nd down and 10, plenty of time. But if you give up another score, there's nothing wrong with being a little, increase the tempo, even if you're huddling right now. Let's pick up the tempo. A little bit of, let's get things going. This may be the only sport on the planet where you can be getting your butt handed to you, and the crowd doesn't leave. And in Seattle, it's the best fans in the league.
Oh, absolutely.
Sold out here. Sold out here. Seattle's got to get something going.
Pitch. Go, this is Danica Brace will bring it around the right side. Brace gets away from one tackler. Out near midfield. She's into Chicago territory. Shannon Renee with the stop. That's a first down for Seattle.
Nice job with the fake toss and inside handoff. Coming right around for Danica Brace, who is a dominant linebacker. She's in the mold of some of the great linebackers we have in this league, and Deborah Poles on the other side. But see, Danica, she can go both ways, Danica Brace can. We've seen her run the football, and we've seen her play great defense. Tommy, to me, the best ones are the ones who are football players. I know a lot of them look great in their uniforms, but true football players, and Danica Brace fits that.
Natasha Lindsay, the quarterback. 1st and 10, fades back, looks over the left side, throws, and it's knocked away. Nice job defensively. That's Danielle Moynier there to break that one up. Yeah, Tommy, you called her name with some tackles in the first half, and Danielle covers a lot of ground in that secondary, and she loves this league too. Nice job of breaking that up, and not a bad throw by Natasha Lindsay. I like that back shoulder throw. Right.
As you saw Danielle was overplaying it. Nice back shoulder throw. You might have been able to call pass interference. You know what? I think we underrated the arm of Natasha Lindsay and how good she is accurate-wise. She's thrown 2 incompletions. Well, 3 now with the tip ball in the beginning of this series since she's been quarterbacking from game 1.
Which isn't bad.
Darn right.
She'll fade back again. Looks, steps up, throws, and I don't think that was caught. I think it bounced in. Incomplete, intended for Jessica Hopkins. And it is incomplete. Now 3rd and 10 and a big 3rd down 21-6. Yeah, ball's got to be out in front just a little bit more. Natasha, throw it down low. Now you protect it. You saw the safety driving on it. We've seen now Deborah Poles is getting deep drop as a linebacker, and the safeties are starting to creep up because they want to take away Ferguson, and they want to take away that passing game, that the Ferguson-Hopkins passing game down the seams. Chicago's doing a good job of guarding against it. Ferguson had 3 touchdown catches in the first one, Tommy, in the first game. None here today. Lindsay wasn't ready for the snap. Now she goes back and falls on it at about the 14-yard line. She was not looking at her center. The ball came back, and that's a huge sack for Chicago. Tommy, why is it that Seattle, who's the home team, which should have the crowd in their favor, is having such a hard time with quarterback-center exchange here? And I don't understand what's going on. And Chris Michelson ripped his team at halftime. Oh, he did. And he should have. Unforced errors. You're allowing a good team. You give Chicago this kind of, making a 5-hour trip to Seattle to come and play. Yes, and to come out here and play like this. You can't give them any extra field position. They're too good a football team. Now 4th and 21. Lindsay fades back, looking to buy some time. Her pass deflected out of bounds. A huge stop for Chicago here to start this second half. I feel like it's Groundhog Day. Every week the team that's getting their butt kicked does the same thing. You allow the better team to keep field position. Now, since we don't punt in this league, you're turning around, you're down 21-6, and what do you have, Tommy? Tasha the Tank Pryor in Chicago staring you right in the face. At the 15-yard line, on their half of the field, fans still aren't leaving. You see Heather Furr now 5 of 6, started at quarterback when she's normally a safety, 2 touchdowns, she's run, she's thrown, she's doing it all. Give goes to the Tank. Here she comes. Look at her just knock players down. She's inside the 5, down to about the 3. 1st and goal for the Bliss. And let's hear how that sounds. Danica Brace is wired up. Well, I assure you it's far more physical than it sounds, Tommy.
just from the punishment they're taking and wired up, and they're getting after it. Seattle's a little light in the rear end, and that's why they're getting pushed around by a far more physical Chicago team.
Swanson goes off the right side. She's right at the goal line where she's finally stopped. Pushing her there on the stop. And it'll be 2nd and goal, right literally on that goal line.
And Tommy, here's the thing with Seattle. They're on offense, you see them, they're more of a finesse. They like to throw it. We haven't heard squat from Cam Warner in this game, have we?
Nothing.
And she was real physical in game 1. They're playing a little bit soft to me today, and I'm sure Chris Michelson, the coach of Seattle, it's driving him nuts, but they're finesse on offense, they're turning the ball over. On defense, they're getting pushed around up front by a good offensive line and good backfield and a smart quarterback in Heather Furr. Gotta be more physical and stop the softness.
Furr back at the 5 in the shotgun, fakes a throw, and she runs it in for the touchdown. She got hit hard and paid a price, but that is a Chicago touchdown.
It's amazing. How do we see great hit as you see the fans getting into it? Few, little bit of booze floating around, and we got another little celebration here. They dropped Trow early on, or at least faked it. Yep, bring it! The excitement in Chicago, you know what? They can talk it because they're walking it. Heather Furr, first starter quarterback, folks, just throwing 1 incompletion. She's accounted for 3 touchdowns. And oh, by the way, didn't really know at the beginning of this week, we didn't know that she was going to start a quarterback for Stacey Jarrett, who had a good first game. Boy, Chicago's got it all working for them now, going for the 2 points here.
Give goes to Pryor. She comes around the right side and a big, tough tackle. Cam Warner there on the stop.
It's a great job by Cam Warner. It's only the 3rd time we've called her name and the 1st time on defense.
And we'll take a break. 27-6, Chicago with the lead here in Seattle.
This is Friday night football.
And Laurel Creel, Sean, is in back at quarterback.
Well, Natasha Lindsay's throwing it well, but hurt in the first game, limped off, and she limped off in this one too, so you have to make the change and not put her health in danger.
Creel fakes the pitch. Now a keeper rolls out to the right side. Rice with some pressure, and that pass is knocked away. Heather Furr with a heck of a defensive play to knock that one down.
Oh, by the way, she's accounted for 3 touchdowns, 2 passing and 1 running on the other side of the ball and been a great leader. This Chicago team, Coach Sinclair, he's got it going on, Tommy. They've game planned great defensively, gave up 1 big play but have forced turnovers, and offensively they got everything working for themselves and haven't had to just rely on Tasha Pryor.
She'll fade back here. Pump fake. Looking long. Lofts it down the field, and it's just overthrown. She was wide open. Danica Brace was there. It's just overthrown, and now 3rd and 10.
Those are the ones you can't miss, and I think it's obvious. And you know what, Tommy, as far as both quarterbacks go, Lindsay and Creel can throw the football.
Right.
Lindsay's an underrated arm and an underrated accuracy, and we know Creel can throw it too. Had it down the left sideline. Now it's forced to 3rd and 10. Just a bit of an overthrow.
She'll fade. Again, looks like the same play they just ran and throws way overthrown, almost intercepted. He just couldn't quite come up with it, but it's overthrown and incomplete. Shannon Renee almost picked that off.
Moyne, Renee.
Yeah.
I mean, in the secondary, they are all over the. I mean, by the way, and Heather Furr, who in the secondary. Deborah Poles inside, and this football team. Boy, the West can be stacked with some great athletes.
Oh, is
Tommy.
this something?
Let's go in San Diego to linebacker, Gaxiola in L.A. linebacker. I mean, you're loaded on the West
and
in
Dallas,
the Western Conference.
Dallas is 0-2, and Dallas is really good.
Best 0-2 team on the planet.
Oh, my goodness.
NFL included.
4th and 10. Fades back, looks over the middle, throws, and it's incomplete. And Chicago has held again.
And field position one more time, and there's some talking going on, and I'm not sure that Seattle wants to do a lot of talking right now. Chicago can, but field position will switch again, which kills teams in this league. But you can't blame, Seattle's just got to sit back and throw it. The early turnovers have put them in a bind, Tommy. Now if you're Chicago, you just sit back in the secondary and know they got to throw. Now also if you're Seattle, you got to go in a no-huddle offense, Tom. You got to let the clock work for you and get a chance to get back in the game, because right now they're taking an ass whooping in front of their own crowd, and nobody's left the building yet.
Yeah, and Chicago is very happy. They're up 27-6. They've got the football at the Seattle 15-yard line. Motion comes to the near side. That's Swanson. She cuts inside the 15 down to about the 11-yard line. Sarah Swanson, a nice cutback. and they'll get about 4 on the play.
And there's Amanda Brace, feeling her ankle brace down there. Her and her sister Danica, obviously two of the best, if not the best, defensive players on this team. Both of them around the football. And Tommy, and talking to Seattle, as you said, this team thought, they not only thought they were going to beat Chicago, they thought they were going to beat them up.
Yeah, they did.
And they thought they had a plan for
They had a little
Tasha
read.
Pryor.
They thought they picked something up in their scouting report, but Chicago has handled all that very well.
Well, and truthfully, it hasn't been Pryor that's dominated. Pryor does her thing, but really Heather Furr and a bunch of other people have gotten involved.
Yeah.
So they've done a good job of not letting Pryor kill them, but when Pryor does touch, 6, 7, 8 yards a carry. But Heather Furr's been the key here. The non-starting quarterback, who is the starting quarterback?
Right. She'll keep it right here, goes right behind that big line, rumbles down to about the 1-yard line. That's a 1st and goal for Chicago.
You know what she does? She plays quarterback like she's a safety. She's very, very bright. I've seen her make one bad decision in the game, Tommy. It was one option pitch where she should have kept it, and she pitched it to the pitch man who was the pitch gal who was covered on the pitch. She could have kept it. She's learned that. Now 2 times she's kept it, and she does not dance around. We've seen some dancing around by Seattle. She plays physical, and it's paying off.
Give to Swanson, and she molds in. Touchdown, Chicago. Sarah Swanson from West Dundee, northwest suburbs of Chicago. Swanson bangs it home, 33-6, the Bliss with the lead.
Don't be surprised if these passionate Seattle fans start to boo a little more. They want their team to win, as obviously every team does, but they're into this. They don't leave the building. Great job. Now going for the extra points.
Left side, Pryor with it. Tackle a little lower. She fights forward and falls in. The extra point is good.
That's exactly why we know that she's the most physical. Okay, I feel you. Shake that thing.
And they put $1 in there.
Worth more than that. Nice job by Pryor getting in. Tommy, it's not even close who the most physical running back in this league is.
No,
but it's kind of nice that she doesn't have to load everybody on her shoulders and carry them.
Right.
Apparently they thought they could load it on the booty and carry him because she's knocking people out.
Fade back, quick throw. That's caught out across the 15, gain of a couple, and she'll go down right there, Jamie Ferguson.
Where's she been, Tommy?
Quiet.
Where's she been?
We'll take a break.
This is Friday Night Football.
Tommy, where are the names Jamie Ferguson, Jess Hopkins, who's got some Wes Welker moves, Cam Warner, Seattle's skilled position players that have not reared their head in this game tonight for the most part?
She'll fade back. Creel looks, throws, and it is caught. Chanel Baremo with the catch, and she's got about 13 yards on that play. That's good for a 1st down.
There's a cannon by Laurel Creel. That's that out throw, deep out throw, and a nice job, Tommy. Look at her. I love the mechanics. Drops back, sets your feet now, looks left, resets her feet, does a nice job low and away. Tommy, you can't teach that any better. Did you see her drop back?
Yep.
Take a look left to hold the secondary, and then to drive that throw outside right. Nice job by Laurel Creel.
1st down. Creel fades back. Now she's going to keep it. Goes across the 20, down across the 15, and she's hit hard into the boards. 9 yards on the play, and Yashi Rice with the stop.
She's done a great job, Tommy. She's been all over the place. Think about this up front, how physical it's been. You talk about the defensive line, but also on the offensive side of the ball. Thurston, Sharp, and Poles is mixed in at wide receiver and up front, and Rice also doing a great job on the physical side. And we don't ever get to talk about them very much. We got an injury on the field. Don't get to talk about them much. We're too busy talking about the skilled position, pretty people. But the big gals are getting in there knocking people around.
Throw, and this one, nice catch by Kim Warner inside the 15, down to about the 13-yard line. What a terrific one-handed catch by Warner.
Nice job of keeping the drive alive. And when I say big girls, Tommy, that's an affectionate thing, meaning because we've seen some 520-pounders up front. It has nothing to do with size. It has everything to do with how big they play and how physical they are.
Seattle marching down the field. Creel throws right side, caught by Jamie Ferguson. She's inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line. Kia Wagner, first time we've mentioned her name, with the stop.
Oh, now there's talking going on. Seattle get back in the huddle in Chicago, rubbing it in a little bit right now. But I like the fact that Brace and these girls aren't taking anything other than the scoreboard, but at least they're battling. It'd be easy to quit, and both coaches, Michelson and Sinclair, for both teams' head coaches, are doing a great job of having their teams at least doing some talking and building this marketing and building the reputation of the LFL, but getting back in the huddle and playing some football.
And hopefully these Seattle fans have had a great time despite the fact that their team is getting hammered here.
Well, they're not leaving, Tommy.
Trips to the right side. Creel fades back. Got some pressure. Passy is caught. Picked up by Warner, and she's back at the 5-yard line.
Take those shots at the end zone. You're down inside of 5 minutes. Difference in the ball game, folks, comes down to real simple. Execution on red zone plays where they've turned it over twice, Seattle. When they answered early on and had a chance to even the score. And then 2 or 3 times, Tommy, when they're backed up, they've given Chicago just an easy route.
We've got a flag. Let's listen into the official.
Personal foul, illegal hands to the face on the defense, number 10. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Yeah, Rice called for hands to the face, and that's half the distance.
She's been in that backfield making things happen the whole night, Tommy.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're the Chicago coach, you've still got to say to her, hey, look, you made a mistake, that's all right, because she's made about 10 plays already.
I can take penalties if you're going 100 miles an hour, and especially when you're winning 35-6. I'll take those penalties. I will take them. Now, a couple of red zone scores, and guess what? This game's completely different from what we're seeing now. But Laurel Creel has shown she can throw it, as has Natasha Lindsay.
Motion coming to the near side. Creel fakes a pitch, goes around to the right side. Brace is going to go down to about the 2 or 1 yard line. And Chicago again right there with the stop. Heather Furr on the stop.
Heather Furr's been all over the place on both sides of the ball, as have the Brace sisters. Man, you think if you're dad and mom at home for the Brace sisters, you're saying, you know what? We got some pretty doggone good, tough athletes in this family who understand football. I always wonder when they're sitting around on the couch, not just the Braves, but they love this football, and they're sitting with their boyfriend who may be a little intimidated, or husband saying, man, my girl knows far more football than I do.
Right.
And she's far tougher than me, too.
2nd and 2. Vermeil comes right up the middle, and there is nowhere to go. Rice among others there on the stop. Chicago just doing a terrific job owning that line of scrimmage.
Or when daddy and mom say, hey, we're going to go shopping. You guys want to go to the grocery store? The Brace sisters say, oh, hell no, mom and dad. We're watching football.
Yeah,
we're going to go play catch in the front yard.
Seattle's coming out. We're going to watch. We're going to watch the Seahawks.
And if you've been watching these games on Friday nights, you recognize that this just isn't about pedicures, manicures, and good-looking girls.
This is football.
This is great football, and they just happen to look good doing it.
Creel fades back, looking. She's got nobody open, throws into the corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete. I thought she may have come up with that catch. They say incomplete.
Is that another Brace?
That's Danica Brace.
Shocker.
There.
Every time I turn around, that B word, Brace, is involved somehow, some way. Nice job. A little frustration by the crowd, obviously, and I get it, but they're still there. Laurel Creel's got an arm now.
Oh, she
Tommy,
does.
she could throw it.
And now, I didn't think she had anything. She found a receiver open.
That ball jumps out of her hand, and if they're coaching her and teaching her, and watch her mechanics, who's ever doing a good job, because other than a few of the turnovers, her and Natasha Lindsay both have shown nice mechanics and have operated throwing the ball down the field. The other side of it, Chicago's Heather Furr's just operated that doggone shovel pass to perfection.
She'll come around the right side, tries to get in, got a hog tag, does get in, but we've got 2 flags down now. This could be offsetting penalties on 4th and goal at the 2.
Don't tread lightly. You got to hit that and hit it hard so you don't get yourself hurt. Oh, hello. Let's listen to the official explain the penalty wired up.
At the goal line, not shoot after touchdown. So it's a dead ball.
It'll be a dead ball.
Okay, so we're going back, previous spot 5 yards, and then we're going to do another personal foul, half the distance.
So now you ought to know.
We love you too.
Illegal shift on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. That'll be enforced. It'll still be 4th down. To the play, personal foul on the defense. That'll be half the distance to the goal. Still will be 4th down.
Tommy, 2 things. When I say tread lightly and got to hit that hard, is when you come around the corner, if you're Laurel Creel, you don't want to be coming straight up. You want to lower that shoulder and hit that hole because Chicago's coming. Now, that's 2 personal foul penalties in what, Tommy, by Chicago, 3 or 4 plays? Let's not let this get out of hand because you're winning. Don't start taking cheap shots and doing it. Play physical, but be smart. It's still good, solid football, and you're going away with a huge win, but in this thing right. And I think we both know who our MVP is going to be in this game, don't you, Tommy?
Absolutely. 2 minutes left, 4th and 3, and we'll get a timeout before we do that. 2 minutes left, our 2-minute break. We'll be right back.
This is Friday night football.
4th down.
Love this Seattle crowd, Tommy. As good as, awesome, awesome crowd that has stuck with it throughout.
Creel fades back, under pressure, throws, and it's caught. Touchdown! Nice pass, catch, well-run play, and Danica Brace there on the receiving end, 35-12
Now that's how you play the position at quarterback. Great job by Laurel Creel. Blitz, free runner. She looks the hot read right in the face, lets the ball fly out in the flat. Somebody's taught her well. This girl understands. Tommy, that's what killed him in the first half. Those self-inflicted wounds. Look at this. Blitz comes, free runner, stand in there, take a shot, and deliver the football. There's an uncovered receiver. When somebody blitzes, somebody's got to cover up. They didn't cover up, and what does Laurel Creel do? Hits Brace in the flat. That's the way you draw it up in NFL, in college locker rooms, in college, in NFL scouting reports. Nice job.
Now looking for the conversion, thrown to the middle, and this one's intercepted. Picked off, the 4th interception of the game. Jennifer Sharp with it. She's to the 15-10-5, and she has scored a 2-point conversion for Chicago.
We like calling that going to the crib.
Wow.
To the house. Great. Hey, you know what? You gave up 2 points. You're taking your chance. That's okay. You can't fault Laurel Creel. Force it in there, try to make a play. Get some good blocks and a great job on the return. Excellent job on the return. Who is that, Deborah Poles? Yep. What a shock. Deborah Poles has been in on offense, defense, plays physical, and that's just an exclamation point to one of the best linebackers in this league with
During
an
the
interception.
return, we have an illegal block on the back on the defense. By rule, no points will be awarded. The try is over.
Oh, there you go. That's okay. Look good. Made for some good talk and some good hype. But, Tommy, I'm telling you, they can build something with this Laurel Creel throwing the football.
Oh, she can play. Now Seattle's going to try what's only been done one other time, an onside kick. Under 2 minutes if you're losing, you can onside kick. It's a pooch kick, and Chicago gets it very easily.
And there's why we don't see kicking very much. You got all your people lined up to the right, and it was kicked to the middle. And Shannon Renee with the recovery. Not exactly the greatest execution on the onside kick, and that's the only time we do kick.
When you never kick, I'm sure they don't kick very often in practice.
That's exactly. You don't get much to practice on, Tom.
Yep.
You're exactly right. So you can't fault them, and that didn't give him much of a chance. And now Heather Furr, who's done a great job. She's my MVP, Tom.
Oh, absolutely.
She's accounted for 3 touchdowns and played great defense.
Minute 38 left, and you think Chicago will just continue to run? Nope. Furr fading back, looks long, throws, and it is incomplete. Almost had it inside the 10. A very nice defensive play.
I'm going to tell you why.
Amanda Brace there for the stop. Yes, sir.
There's a reason now. People are at home say, are they trying to rub it in? Heck, we saw Wisconsin rub it in against Minnesota for a 2-point conversion. And now Minnesota didn't take that lightly in college football this past week. Well, there's a scoring system here and a tie-breaking system, and the game's out of hand, yes. We'll explain it after the play.
The handoff goes right up the middle. Big stop, and the tank, Tasha Pryor, gained about 5 or 6 yards, so that should be enough for a first down.
And this isn't Coach Sinclair rubbing it in Coach Michelson's face. It's very simple with the Lingerie Football League's tiebreaker system, and it factors in overall point differential after the record and face-to-face, head-to-head. So you know what? This is the 3rd tiebreaker, so you want to score as many points as you can.
Furr. Little pitch pass goes straight ahead. Sarah Swanson with it. She's down inside the 15-yard line. And I think you're right. I think Chicago realizes that tiebreaker. They won the tiebreaker last year, got to the playoffs.
Yes.
Now they know they need to win it again.
You don't want to be at home in February and January watching this thing because you didn't score. So it's not a rub it in your face. It's we got to score some more points so we don't lose out if it comes down to this in a very, very difficult Western Conference.
Furr fades back. Got some pressure, rolls out, throws, and it's caught. Nice catch by Deborah Poles. She's inside the 10, down near the 5, just short of a first down.
And the bottom line is, if you're the opposing team, stop them anyway if you got a problem with it. If you got a problem with it, stop them anyway and see the hurry up. The only reason you're seeing this is the tiebreaker system, and I get why Chicago's doing it.
And they spike the football with 27. I don't think the clock started there.
Heather Furr's done an unbelievable job of leading this team.
Both sides of the field. She's been great.
Unbelievable job of leading this team. Got a huge game next week too, Tommy. I know we'll talk about that, but a huge game.
Oh, Philly at Miami. Ananka Dixon, our first time with Tina Calcavelli. That quarterback and receiver combo, they are outstanding.
And if you're faint of heart, don't watch that. You might get hurt in your own living room. That's like Pittsburgh and Baltimore playing.
Straight up the middle. Look at her just rumble forward with 9 seconds to go. She got down to about the 2-yard line. That was Tasha Pryor. That's a first down. Amanda Brace with the stop. Now Chicago with 9 seconds to go. Football on the 2, and Chicago may want to talk this over.
And the fans are booing because the fans in-house don't understand.
They don't know the
tiebreaker
tiebreaker
and you know
rules.
what?
Yep.
It'll be explained, and it's just when a tiebreaker, you go home, and if you get to play the team again, you'd sit there and file it away, Tommy, and they may. You never know come playoff time what goes on.
Absolutely.
But this was huge for Seattle because now they're down 0 games and 2 in a chase mode.
The give. Around the right side, Heather Furr just walks into the end zone, touchdown. Game MVP, you called it. 9 attempts, 7 completes for 44 yards, 6 rushes, 32 yards. She has been a huge story for Chicago.
Touchdowns, extra points, handoffs, leading them, hitting them on defense. Going to try to get a 2-pointer in. Down to 1.4 seconds to go in a romp. And it all started with Seattle not playing well in the first few series.
Not getting it in the red zone.
That's right.
She'll fade back, looks, and the conversion is not going to be completed. She goes down hard. And some pushing and shoving, and this is where calmer heads have to prevail. There's 1 second left.
Here we see, nice job, nice little fake quarterback draw. You wanted to throw it, but you're going to keep it, tuck that ball away, but at this point it doesn't matter. But Seattle's still playing hard, Tommy. They did not quit, but we can all take it back to field position in red zone, and it doesn't matter what league you're in. If you don't score in the red zone, you turn it over on downs or turnovers back in your own zone, you're going to get beat by physical football teams and opportunistic teams, and that's exactly what Chicago is.
So Creel here for 1 play.
This girl's got a future in this league now, Tom.
Long throw,
I promise you she does. She
incomplete.
can throw it.
41-12, the Chicago Bliss go to Seattle and get a huge win. We'll take a break and come back making snow angels at midfield.
This is Friday Night Football.
Chicago Bliss goes to 2-0 with a big road win here in Seattle, and turnover's a big story. 2 turnovers, and they led directly to Chicago points, and obviously those 2 turnovers in the red zone keep Seattle off the board.
That is the story, Tommy, because everything else other than rushing yards was equal. Can't turn it over and expect to beat a good team.
Big win for Chicago. See you next week. Miami and Philly ought to be a war.